Welcome to another story made by Oracle One. The rain hammered relentlessly against the windshield of Detective Evelyn Harper's car as she sat at the intersection of Maple and 7th, waiting out the late-night storm. It was just past midnight, the streets dimly lit by flickering neon signs and the occasional glow of a street lamp struggling against the heavy downpour. Her mind was consumed by the case file spread open on her passenger seat. A series of strange car accidents around the city that had puzzled the police for weeks. Evelyn's gut told her there was more to these crashes than met the eye, but the evidence was scattered, cryptic, and maddeningly incomplete. The screech of tires startled her, and her heart jumped as she saw a silver sedan spin wildly, hitting the curb before colliding with a parked black SUV. The sound of shattering glass and metal crunching under pressure filled the night. Without hesitation, Evelyn slammed her door open, rain drenching her as she sprinted toward the wreckage. The driver, a man in his early 30s, sat trembling, his face pale but thankfully conscious. Evelyn's seasoned eyes scanned the scene, noting the lack of skid marks leading up to the crash, the eerie calm of the surrounding area despite the chaos. And one detail she couldn't ignore: there was no other vehicle involved. No hit-and-run driver, no visible signs of being struck. Just an inexplicably out-of-control car. "Sir, are you hurt? What happened?" she asked as she knelt beside him. He swallowed hard, shaking his head in confusion. I don't know. I was driving, following the usual route home, then my wheel just jerked. Suddenly I was spinning. I swear, I didn't hit anything." Evelyn nodded, her mind racing. It sounded eerily familiar. She'd seen this exact pattern before, in the rash of crashes making headlines these past months. Drivers losing control, crashing without any apparent cause, only happening late at night and always involving vehicles struck or cut off by something invisible. Something unknown. Back at the station, Evelyn pored over the police department's accident reports. There were at least 8 incidents over the past 2 months, all matching the same bizarre scenario. Drivers either crashed into stationary objects or veered off the road after a sudden, inexplicable disturbance, always at night, always without eyewitnesses. Most strange was the victim's description. Some mentioned a dark vehicle, unmarked, speeding off before police could arrive. No plate numbers, no identifiable features, just a blurred presence lurking in the shadows. Her partner, Detective Marcus Reed, frowned as he looked at the photos. "No one has ever seen this driver." "Not a single person?" "Well, driver may not be the right word," Evelyn mused, tapping a photo of the latest crash on her phone. Every report references a shadow lurking nearby. Sometimes just at the edge of headlights, sometimes not even visible until it's too late. It's as though someone or something is hunting these drivers. And that doesn't feel random. Marcus lit a cigarette, exhaling slowly. "You think this is someone's doing? A serial accident? Like a killer choosing cars as their weapon?" Evelyn leaned back, running a hand through her damp hair. "Maybe. Or someone targeting a certain type of person, or setting a trap for someone else. We need to find patterns beyond just the crashes." She spent the next day tracing the paths of each accident, mapping the crime scenes and scrutinizing the police interviews with the survivors. What she realized sent a chill down her spine. The locations of all the wrecks formed a distinct pattern, crisscrossing a particular section of the city's east side like a spider's web. More revealing was the striking similarity in victims. All drivers were aged between 25 and 40, alone in their cars, driving on solitary routes home from work or late-night shifts. Digging deeper, Evelyn pulled public records to check for any connections among these drivers. No obvious ties, no shared workplaces, no overlapping social or criminal histories. It was as if they'd all been random picks in some menacing game. But there was one more thing. An eyewitness statement buried deep in the report from 2 weeks ago. A security guard at a gas station near the fifth accident swore he saw a dark vehicle, something sleek but ominous, tailing the victim car slowly for several minutes before disappearing into the night. The guard mentioned the driver wore a black hoodie, his face impossible to see. The timing and details lined up too well to ignore. Evelyn and Marcus decided to stake out the area, hoping to catch the mysterious driver or at least gather more clues about the shadow on the road. It was another rainy night when they parked in an inconspicuous corner near a narrow stretch of highway that had become an accident hotspot. Hours dragged by in heavy silence. Evelyn's fingers nervously tapped the steering wheel, her eyes fixed on the twisting lane. Just when fatigue started to gnaw at her resolve, headlights appeared in the distance, a lone sedan rolling by cautiously. Evelyn's breath hitched. She could see the driver, a tired-looking man in his 30s, no distractions, focused on the road. The car passed the police cruiser, and suddenly something flickered beside it, a dark blur darting from the adjacent lane, close enough to cause the driver to swerve violently. The car fishtailed, nearly slamming off the shoulder, before regaining composure and speeding away. Evelyn's heart pounded as she shouted, "There! Did you see that?" Marcus nodded grimly, reaching for his radio. "Keep eyes on the road. Backup is on the way." The dark vehicle emerged behind the driver's car. The silhouette of a sports car as elusive as smoke, its headlights off, moving like a phantom. Evelyn flicked on their cruiser's spotlight and accelerated, siren blaring into the night. The black car sped up, weaving through the rain-slick streets at a chilling pace. The chase was on. They followed it through winding alleyways and deserted highways, the mysterious driver expertly evading roadblocks with impossible precision. But Evelyn noticed something odd. Every time the shadow car passed near a crash site from the earlier incidents, it slowed for a moment, almost as if paying tribute to its previous deeds. The pursuit ended abruptly when the shadow vehicle suddenly disappeared into the underground parking garage of an abandoned factory on the outskirts of the city. Evelyn and Marcus exchanged glances before descending on foot, flashlights cutting through the suffocating darkness. Inside, the air was thick and stale, filled with long-forgotten memories and rusted machinery. They proceeded carefully, the sound of their footsteps echoing ominously. Then, a faint click echoed from deeper within the building, a shutter rolling down somewhere nearby. They rounded a corner and confronted a figure cloaked in a soaked black hoodie, face obscured but unmistakably human. The figure held the keys to the shadowy black sports car parked nearby. "Stop right there," Marcus commanded. The figure only smiled, a cold, unsettling curl of the lips. "You have no idea what you're chasing." Evelyn's pulse jumped, memories rushing to her of the victims, the crashes, the silent terror inflicted on innocent drivers. "Why?" she demanded. "Why cause all this chaos?" The figure's eyes gleamed from the darkness beneath the hood. "Because some things must be unseen. Accidents happen only when they are meant to, and the blind spots in your mind, that's where truth hides." A sudden movement, a flash of steel. Marcus reacted instantly, tackling the figure to the ground. A struggle ensued, but Evelyn restrained the assailant's hands, discovering a wallet inside the cloak. Identification revealed a name: Adrian Cross. Adrian's story unfolded slowly, dark and twisted. He was a former test driver for a top-secret automotive research company, fired after a reckless incident that nearly killed a colleague. Obsessed with vengeance, he had become a phantom on the roads, setting traps to cause accidents targeting corporate employees and anyone linked, even tangentially, to his former employer. He used advanced hacking systems and modifications to make his car seemingly ghost-like and unpredictable, instilling terror across the city. The chilling purpose behind the crashes was not random terror. It was punishment, targeting those who exemplified corporate greed and corruption in Adrian's eyes. Unfortunately, innocent victims had also fallen prey to his vendetta. With Adrian in custody, Evelyn felt a rare sense of closure but also a haunting unease. The shadow that had stalked the streets was gone, but the scars left behind, both physical and psychological, would take far longer to heal. As dawn crept over the city skyline, the rain finally ceased, washing away the grime of the night but not the memories etched deep in the cold asphalt. For more stories, like and subscribe.